Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. How are ya? Little bonus episode this week. You know, if I wasn't already doing enough, Dear Media said, we need more. And I said, you got it. I'm here live in the studios in LA, starting the press tour, doing all of the things. Wanted to just say again, I cannot thank you guys enough. The special announcement has just been so well received. And also, y'all have really just come out of the woodwork supporting me on the episode of Call Her Daddy, which turned out to be, I think, one of the best episodes ever. I don't know how the fuck I perked up for that one, but I did it. So thank you guys for all the support. I've been running around LA today. I'm sorry if you're seeing this on YouTube. I'm broken out. The plane got me. You know, I landed in LA last night around 11. I'm picking at my face. And this is the thing. I can't have one of those zoomed in mirrors. A magnified mirror, I'm not allowed to have at my home. Because I will get in there, and whenever I stay at a nice hotel, they've got the big magnified mirror in the bathroom, and it lights up. And the next thing you know, you're picking at your face. You've taken off your eyebrows. And I'm not allowed to do those things. So I fucked it up. So anyways, but we've been running around since 6 a.m. today, just hitting the ground running, doing press and all the things. And I said it on Wednesday's episode. I know you're going to be sick of me pushing this special, but it really takes a village. So thank you so much to everybody who's plans on watching the special, sharing it with your friends. Just keep that shit on repeat because, you know, we need the networks to see the numbers. That's how that goes. What else is going on? You know, I have to tell you, I've had a little bit of a humble fall from grace. So at the Atlanta airport and the LA airport, they had this thing called private suites, PS Reserve. And I had gotten an exclusive deal with the gals who run it to kind of promote it. It was new to the market in Atlanta. And I went and did some stand up at their HQ in Atlanta. And they were like, great, you get to use it and just, you know, let all your friends in Atlanta know about it. And we kind of had this sweetheart deal. Well, naturally, as things happen, the deal was up, right? Because they have a lot of paying customers who found out about it and wanted to sign up. So I have not been able to fly. For a year, I was absolutely fucking spoiled. And right now I'm about to sign up, but I, got to pay those quarterly taxes before I can sign back up for the PS. So anyways, long story short, there's such first world problems. I've had to be back in Gen Pop. Okay. So, and with private suites, let me just explain to you how this works. This is not a sales pitch because I'm about to have to pay full price for it. Okay. But basically you have your own FBO, which is you have your own, you don't even go into the airport, right? You pull up to your own little FBO and it's like incredible, full bar, menu, anything you could ever imagine, they have it. You go through your own TSA. They put you in a gorgeous car, a BMW. You drive to the tarmac. They put you on the flight, and then you never have to step foot in the airport. Well, what do you know? I got delayed 2 hours yesterday. I'm slumming it in Gen Pop with everybody else at the ATL airport because I haven't, signed a new contract with the PS. And when I tell you this bitch was on the phone on FaceTime behind me for a fucking hour and a half. No dingle dongles, no headphones. No, nothing. Yapping. Fucking yapping. Talking. I don't even know how somebody talks on the phone on FaceTime for that long. And her boyfriend was clearly at his job. I don't know if he was a doorman. He worked as a security guard. He sat at a desk where he had to continue to let people into the building. I do know that. Because every 3 minutes he'd be like, hey, what's up? What room are you going to? Okay, da-da-da. So this guy clearly was in a position where he should have been paying attention to who was coming and going in the building. And I sat at that gate and listened to their conversation about nothing for an hour and a half. And I said, you know what? Getting back in Gen Pop at the airport will be the biggest motivator for you to go and hustle and make some more cash, okay? I called Jeff. I go, Jeff, we can't do this. Mama got a taste of the good life, all right? And I got a taste of that for free. So now if I got to start selling feet pics online, photos of my butthole on the internet, I don't give a shit what it is. I got to make more cash so that I can afford to live, not to be at my own private suite. I can't do this. And at one point, I wasn't mean mugging the gal, but I kept kind of turning around, really looking more inquisitively towards her to be like, wow, we're still yapping. And listen, I'm a good study of people. I like to be in the airport. I like to see where people are going. I love to, study family dynamics, see who's melting down before they get on a flight to Albuquerque. I enjoy this shit. I like to be one with the people. And you're probably like, Heather, why weren't you in the Sky Club? I was in the Sky Club. But then we got called to our gate and then we kept getting delayed. And at that point, I was already in the international terminal. Don't know why a flight to LAX was in the international. And I was like, you know what? I don't even feel like going back to the Sky Club. I've had enough hard-boiled eggs and white wine. I'm getting a little sleepy. I was afraid that if I went back to the Sky Club and had any more white wine, I'd miss my flight. So they were like, listen, it's touch and go. We're delayed a little bit. Well, the next thing you know, we're delayed like 2 hours. And this bitch was yapping. So absolutely not to being, what a fall from grace and being back with just the yappers. And I love a FaceTime. I've said this a billion times. Don't text me. Don't beat me. Call me or FaceTime me and we'll chat. But it can be a 5-minute conversation and then we're done. Hey, how are you? Great. You look good. Oh, were you picking at your face last night? Yes, I sure was. All right. What else is good? So what do you want to do? Go to Katsuya for dinner? Great. What time works for you? 6 p.m. I'll see you there. You want me to Uber and drive to you, or are we drinking, or what are we doing? Great. I'll pick you up at 5:45. And then the conversation's done. I get overwhelmed by text because I get out of, recording the podcast or I'm on camera for something. And it's like I have 65,000 fucking emails and things to respond to. So everybody in my life knows if you want to get me, call me. Don't text me. It stresses me the fuck out. Also, I just had a smoothie at Sun Life Organics. The smoothie was $17 and my entire mouth is numb because that's the other thing. When I'm running around, there is no time to eat. And I just wolfed down this smoothie and I can't feel my tongue, my lips. So if I have a lateral lisp, I apologize. Y'all, I have been on such a deep dive of this P. Diddy TikTok shit. And I am like, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist because there's clearly no conspiracy there. It's just real. But I feel like the house of cards is about to fall in the music industry. And I feel like we're going to be disappointed. I'm like, post the list. I want to know who the fuck was at the Freak-Offs. Was I ever invited? I was not. All right. I don't want to hear it. Some of y'all slide into my DMs. I've never been invited to a music mogul's home. So back up. Now, if the Spice Girls called me and invited me over, I'm going. And I hope, we're all adults and it would all be consensual. I would love to get in some sort of tryst with them. But regardless, this P. Diddy shit, I'm not even trying to make light of the situation, but I think what's going to, here's what I'm trying to say. I think there's so much information that we're about to find out that it is actually, when you're at like a funeral and it's so dark and sad that you start giggling because you're uncomfortable, that's the state at which I'm in right now. I'm just like, you can't believe all the names that are about to come out. So it should be interesting. I don't know if we're going to have to, run over some old CDs with your car. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of our heroes musically are about to let us know what's going on. So listen, I love to look at the DMs. Send me a message on TikTok. Send me the videos. I'm up at night. I'm a trazodone. Send me that good shit. Send me that good shit because I will watch it. But it just feels so surreal. You heard these rumors for a long time and now it's going down. So I don't know. I want to see the list. Josh, do you want to see the list?
I absolutely do want to see the list.
Who do you think's on the list?
I can tell you who I'm hoping to God is not.
Yeah. Who do we hope to God is not on the list?
Jay-Z.
Me too.
If Jay-Z,
you know what? I think he is.
Break me to pieces if he is, but like little stuff is starting to come out more and more now where they're saying that he is. And I'm like, that would actually destroy me. See,
that's the way I feel about Beyonce. Like if she knew about this, if she's in on it, I don't think I'll be able to handle it.
No.
And I think Justin Bieber, I have a weird feeling that he's going to end up being like indicted to testify. I think he's probably been a victim in a lot of this. Like now when you just start looking at the clues, and obviously you can really spiral and make anything a clue. So some of the people on the internet are reaching, but I've also now been listening to like old J. Cole songs and like Kendrick songs where they dropped like little Easter eggs. And my husband's favorite rapper has always been J. Cole. All right. So I know every J. Cole song. I know every lyric because that is Jeff's boy. And I brought this up to Jeff the other day. I was like, babe, you need to go back and listen to that song. She Knows. Okay. Josh, do you know about this? Have you seen this conspiracy?
I haven't, no.
So the song She Knows, he's like, rest in peace to Aaliyah, rest in peace to Left Eye. And he names all these people. And apparently the theory is She Knows is, hold on, fuck, I don't want to mess this up, is Knowles and Sean Carter and Sean Diddy Combs. Like there's like a they're putting their names, they're dissecting their names. And he says like that what they're saying right now is it's not only are the Freak-Offs a thing, but apparently they think that P. Diddy was behind the murder of J. Cole, possibly Jay-Z was behind the murder of Aaliyah. I mean, this is like crazy. I don't even know. Like, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't want to get like sued, but this is what the interwebs are saying. So then apparently the J. Cole music video for She Knows was taken down off the YouTubes.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to send you some TikTok links. You're going to be like, what the fuck?
No, I need, and honestly, and this is also like the same guy who literally like punched Diddy in the face like at a party on Grammy night. So
exactly.
like if so anybody was going to blow the load, like, you know what I mean? Like it might have been him.
It might have been him. And I just want everybody to know, I can't tell you this enough. I've never been invited to any of the cool parties. I think the one party I've been invited to, like I've never been to a Freak-Off. I've been to a freaking fun Taco Tuesday at a sad comedian's house, but that's it. Don't forget, I live with my mother. I stay in Atlanta. But I've said this, like I gave P. Diddy a tour of my high school. His son went to my high school. He was in elementary. P. Diddy shows up for 5th grade graduation. I was a student body president. I was a senior. So my principal said, Heather, can you show P. Diddy around? And I said, great. And I like showed him the library, showed him all around town. And I walked him through our campus and then took him down, escorted him down with his security to the 5th grade graduation that was at the gymnasium. And I never told anybody that, but I had a one-on-one with P. Diddy. And I mean, it was, nothing happened, but he must have had $1 million worth of jewelry on. And I don't know. I'm just saying it's all coming out and it's making me anxious. But if you want a deep dive, just start diving in. I'm just worried that the list, we're going to see people that we really like worshiped musically. And I think we're going to be really depressed about it. It may ruin music forever. But you know who definitely we can still continue to listen to? Because we can listen to Reba McEntire. You know what I mean? I think we got to lean country. There might be a couple perverts in Nashville. But I think get back to the Dixie Chicks. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to lean into a little Brooks and Dunn and just know that at the end of the day, they're probably straight shooters. Okay? So.
And how do we feel about the baby oil?
Oh, the baby
GHB
oil
stuff? Have you been like hearing that?
Dude, well, first of all, and this joke's been said a billion times, but truly, if you break down the baby oil of it all, it takes me a year to go through half a bottle of lube. I mean, how much fucking baby oil and lube does one need? You know, thousands.
That's why I'm like it really adds some validity to the whole like GHB claim because no even 100 maybe like, well, that's a lot, but like you're rich if you have 100 bottles of baby oil, cool. But
I know the drugging. Well, and also apparently there's an attorney I saw, I think somewhere down in Houston or somewhere in Texas, that said he has like hundreds of people that are filing claims because I guess with the RICO and the sex trafficking, if you were hiring or moving people across state lines, whether they're of age or not, that's still considered like trafficking. Mm-hmm. I mean, you gotta wonder with these people who are so high powered. Obviously, they think they're gonna get away with shit for so long. And if he was filming people, he was obviously trying to blackmail everyone, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's, listen, the Lord says what you do in the dark will come to the light. So don't be a fucking asshole creep. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Have you heard anything else about it, Josh?
Then the other thing was, while we're going down like the conspiracy theory
while we're literally both about to get sued. I think it's free speech. Yeah.
Was that the raid was actually an attempt to like protect some people who may be on those tapes? And so that's what
like
they're
political
saying.
Figures?
Yep. They're saying that's why the raid happened when it did. It was like, all right, we got to get that. Let's grab like these videos, but then the rest, like just shit on everyone else, throw them under the bus. But like they're trying to protect themselves.
Dude, everyone's fucking twisted. It's all, I'm just coming on here to clear my name, okay? Like anybody listening is like, obviously, Heather, you were never invited to the P. Diddy wife party. But still.
That is one of the funniest things that's like coming out of all this to me is everyone's like, listen, I have been to a Diddy party, but not that Diddy party.
But not that one.
Okay, I left at midnight when like everybody else did, and we're golden.
Well, it's interesting. There's been a lot of like interviews with like Denzel Washington and these little bits that come up where he keeps saying like, you need to know when it's time to leave the party. Nothing good happens after midnight. My dad used to always say that to me. Nothing good happens after midnight. And But what's also wild is to watch all the old, like, Jay Leno, Dave Letterman, all those little clips that get cut together of people being like, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, P. Diddy parties are the wildest. And like, they're now splicing all these together and you're like, oh, fuck. People have been talking about this for a really long time, but listen, I don't know what's about to happen, but I just want to say, gird your loins, light a candle, pray for daylight, and just know that, I'm pretty sure Dixie Chicks and Brooks and Dunn are good folks. So start listening to some twangy country music.
I'm getting into Shaboozey.
Oh, I'm getting into Shaboozey.
Shaboozey's popping off right now.
Listen, and I met Shaboozey at the People's Choice Country Awards, and he is so fucking nice and so cool. But he also worked with Beyonce.
Oh shit! Not even Shaboozey. Come on.
No. But again, you didn't know. Like, how would you know? How would you know? No, everybody's great. I'm leaning in country. I am. I'm going. I'm sure there's one pervert in Nashville, but in the meantime, innocent until proven guilty is how I feel. What else is going on? So anyways, I've been on the deep dives of that, and it's all wild. But being in LA right now is funny because I had lunch with my publicist and we're running around, and obviously she doesn't rep anybody in music, but she's just like, dude, everybody is like asshole is clenched right now because of the crazy, you just don't know what the fuck is about to be uncovered and unearthed. And it's wild. All right. Anyways, we're going to get into the voicemails here in a second. And as always, you can call in 800-213-7503. I love being able to do 2 rounds of voicemails in 1 week. It just brings me so much freaking joy. You guys are so unhinged. Y'all don't even know what the fuck you're saying when you call in. And that's what I love about you. But yes, always call into the Absolutely Not line. And I love doing these little bonus episodes because we can just like kind of bullshit. Should we get into the voicemails now?
Yeah, let's do
it. Okay, cool.
Hey, Heather, it's Jarrett from Columbia, South Carolina. Flew up to Nashville last weekend, and on my Delta flight, also Delta Loyal, had an absolutely not to me, and want to know if it's an absolutely not for you, but the Delta medallion tags on people's luggage. For me, it was an absolutely not.
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious to tell if you were a frequent flyer by when you stand up, when you board. I feel like it's pretty obvious, and everyone's just touting their little Delta. And hey, I have status too, but I don't think I'm going to put a tag on my bag to let everybody know, because I think it's pretty obvious traveling nowadays who is a frequent flyer. Absolutely not for me. Curious what your thoughts are. Thanks, Heather. Bye.
Great question, Jarrett from South Carolina. Okay. So actually, Jarrett, this lets me know that you actually aren't as frequent of a flyer as you think. The reason we put the jingle jangles and the Delta medallion tags is, so when you're getting on a flight and maybe they say, hey, we're going to need a gate check that, you literally lean down and you go, here, you do a little ASMR. You tap that really hard titanium platinum bag tag and you go, are you sure about that? And you're like, I got to connect in Cincinnati. And then they go, you know what? I think there's a couple extra spaces above Delta Comfort. Go with God. That's what it is. Dude, you have the medallion tags on there so people don't fuck with you. Yes, we all have status, but do we? Do we all have status? I mean, I guard those diamond medallion tags with my life, and you bet your ass I've spent enough money, blood, sweat, and tears in the airport, on an airplane, at baggage claim, in the Sky Club, that when I do become a million miler by the end of the year, I will be so obnoxious about it, okay? I might get stickers. I might bedazzle a denim jacket, put a little sticker on my little Bose headphones and let people know, oh yes, I've flown 1 million miles. Yes, I spent a lot of money on Delta. You better upgrade my ass. I hear you, but there's a very few places too where a lot of old white men can flex anymore. And where they can flex is in line waiting to get on their flight. Let the Jerrys, let the Marks, let the Trevors of the world, let them have their moment. They're all wearing a Patagonia fleece vest with the Peter Millar button-down shirt underneath it and a nice Brooks Brothers chino and a Gucci loafer. Let them live. They want you to hear them jingle jangling all the way to the Sky Priority lane. So I get it. I don't know if you know this, but white older men have been oppressed for a really long time. And this is finally their moment to show status. So let them show status. And I'm going to throw myself in that equation. Also, the nice thing is those Delta medallion tags are so thick that they are indestructible. So I know that is my rite of passage. And I'm letting people know I've worked my dick off. So don't take that away from me. But I love that you said, oh, I'm such a frequent flyer. Are you though? Wear your medallion tags. Let people know the kind of money you're spending. It's a gentle, subtle, humble flex. And also, listen, if I show up to a Southwest flight, I just scream, put me in the middle. I don't know what we're doing here. I've been on one Southwest flight. I hear it's lovely, but I would just say, put me in the middle. Nobody wants to sit by me because I have the largest shoulders on planet Earth, but just put me in the middle. What the fuck do you want from me? So, when I know that I've spent the money and I've been loyal to the brand, I'm letting people know. So back up, bitch. Let's get to the next caller.
Hey, Heather, this is David from North Carolina, and I just wanted to come in and say I have an absolutely not. My ex of almost 2 years called me the other day demanding back an iPad that he bought me right before we broke up. Just for some context, he was crazy. I don't want to share too much.
Yeah.
But he was crazy. But he still did buy the iPad. I just want to know what your thoughts are.
No.
Do I give him the iPad? Do I keep the iPad in spite of him? What do we do here? Love and light. Absolutely love you so much. I'm probably the biggest 18-year-old male fan that you have. But I just want to call in with that. Absolutely not. And if anything sounds spotty, that's because I'm in the car. All right. Thank you so much. Love you. Tiramisu bitch.
Oh my God. I love you. I love that we have a young listener. Listen, the world's your oyster, so get excited. Okay. So I find it interesting that he comes back out of the woodwork from 2 years ago. And listen, you're clearly young. He's clearly young. This probably was never a very mature relationship. Whatever crazy shit he's doing or has done, you will look back in your 30s and be like, why the fuck did I waste another extra minute on this person? So you got to weigh the pros and cons here. Do I think you should give the iPad back? No, it's an iPad. No, I don't think you should give an iPad back. But if it's something where you're actually you have to think about it this way. If you do give him the iPad back, will he actually leave your life? Or do you think that that is a moment that he is trying to open up a line of communication to then meet you somewhere to get something from you and or possibly stab you? That's just something you got to think about. I would say if he really is harassing you, say, what's your address? I'll put it in the mail and I'll mail it to you. You never meet up with this person. You ended it for a reason. And if this guy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you don't want anything to do with him. I would ignore it, maybe block the number. But also, if you do think that if you send the iPad back and you will get him out of your life, then you've got to weigh those pros and cons there. But you do not meet up with this person, because I have a feeling, listen, I have another friend whose ex has come out of the woodwork too, 4 years later, asking for random shit or you owe me this, you owe me that. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how that life works. So no, desperate people will do desperate things and take desperate measures to get attention, seek validation. And especially if they're not mentally well, you want nothing to do with that. Because you know what you're doing? You're working on yourself. And you have the whole world ahead of you and your future looks bright. And you know what? You don't want dead weight. Unfortunately, a part of maturing is getting older and looking back at relationships. I remember in college, I let people treat me poorly. I dated a guy who cheated on me 1 billion times. But again, I was trying to be the cool girl. It's whatever. And I finally put my foot down. But I was just like, well, whatever. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. No, it crushed me. It really hurt me. And I allowed people to oh, sorry, my phone's not on silent. I allowed people to treat me poorly which I should never have done. And now if I were to look back, I wouldn't give these fuckers the time of fucking day. You know, they say that youth is wasted on the young. And the reason that is so true is, like, if you only knew now what you will know in 20 years, it really is an eye opener. So just listen, take the experience from me, from your Aunt Heather, who has lived a wild life, and it's just not worth it. Again, safety is of the utmost importance. You know, I try and be funny on these voicemails, but I'm being dead ass serious. Stranger danger. This person could be nuts. So if they get to the point where you're like sending the iPad back would honestly just get them off your tail, then mail it back to them, send it secure, FedEx where they have to sign for it or some shit like that. But do not put yourself in a situation where you have to be physically in front of them. And if you can just block them and be done with it, then block it and be done with it. That's some bullshit. You know what I mean? If you don't buy me an iPad for my birthday and then all of a sudden, because you're a sociopath, now you want it back. No. It's like people get really petty too when they break up. And I understand it. If there's kids involved, if there's animals involved, that's a whole different situation. There's actual like real property involved. But you know what, as far as I'm concerned, if you fuck with me, I'm putting your shit in a cardboard box. I'm handing it to you and saying, say la vie. I'm not fucking dealing with this shit. And I'm going to tell you right now, young, dear listener, living well will always be your best revenge. Because the amount of time that that you sit up thinking about them is more time that you could be sitting up thinking about yourself and what you can do to be good to the people around you who are good to you. It's just not fucking worth it. You're 18. Do you know how many freaking people you're going to get dicked down by the time you're 40? A lot. So it ain't worth it. Also, iPads now, like, why does he even want the iPad 2 years later? It's probably, there's been 16 different versions of said technology that has come out. This guy's just looking to get a hold of you and you need to say, no. You know, let him know. And if he really won't quit bothering you, to say, hey, I've joined the priesthood. I'm working on myself, but I'm living in the mountains of Bhutan. I have joined a monastery, or maybe I'm becoming a monk, and just really tell him, like, I've gone completely off the grid. I wish you the best. And just say, but I am now one with the Lord. And, you know, my butthole is closed for business, period. Or whatever. You know, ladies, if you're listening to this, hey, I am off the grid. I've joined the nunnery. Really fuck with people that way. But don't give that shit back. And if you have to, you mail it. All right, next voicemail.
Heather. I don't know. Absolutely yes, absolutely not. From the text I just got from my husband that says, let me read it. Man, I wished you liked me the way Heather likes Jeff. I guess none of these women had kids yet, so one day you did love the shit out of me. Like, the fuck? Is that like a compliment? You like are happy that, like, what? Also, I'm just like so grateful that he's on the other side. Like, he follows Jeff. He follows you. Like, he's 100% a McManiac or whatever.
Oh, I love him.
Called. But I don't know. Absolutely yes. Absolutely not. I love that my worlds are colliding. Like, my husband's listening to my best friend's podcast now, but also comparing my love for him to your guys' love. I don't know. Help a sister out. What do I need to tell him? Can I tell him?
Well, okay. Okay, this way you're going to tell him. First of all, you're going to blow him tonight. So go home, stretch that jaw, and get down there. That's all they want. That's the validation they need. Also, of course, I love my husband, but I also have to do a lot of public outcries of affection and attention for him, because my new special breadwinner is all about how I am doing better than him financially in a way. And listen, I'm going to throw myself under the bus. So obviously, you know, the hour is ridiculous and funny, and they're jokes. Guys, they're fucking jokes. But we did have a moment the other day. I was asked for, the Hollywood Reporter article came out announcing the special, and Jeff got really upset with me. So they asked for a quote, and the quote, I gave them like 3 quotes. One of the quotes I gave them was, please watch my special because it's so special to me. And you know what I love is feeling special, because being special is so special. Like, I came up with the dumbest fucking quotes. Then I also wrote this quote. Okay. And Jeff's going to get pissed at me for even saying this. The quote that they used that I said, please watch this special so I can continue to financially dominate my husband and sleep like a boss bitch at night. Funny. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Well, Jeff was very upset about it. And I said, honey, come on. Like the whole blurb of the article is about how we're trying to get a little clickbait, a catchy phrase so that, people are going to go, oh, fuck, I really want to see what this is about. It's a very bold statement. And Jeff's like, but Heather, I let you say whatever the fuck you want and do whatever the fuck you want. But like that, how are other people going to feel about it? And I said, honey, I never, he knows anytime, he's 99.9% of the time cool with everything. But for some reason, when he saw it in writing, as opposed to me delivering it, it just made him upset. So I had to fix a problem, stroke the ego. I had to give him a blowjob, and it fixed it. Immediately, he was emotionally over it. I said, honey, you're my king. You're my prince. Also, why do you give a fuck what anybody else thinks? Like the joke that you don't do anything is a fucking joke. You run 16 fucking real estate properties that we have. You wheel and deal all the fucking finances. Like Jeff is a very successful guy. It's a fucking joke. But I also got frustrated because even in my line of work, I'm allowed to make jokes and tell my truth and tell my story. But yet again, and Jeff got over it very quickly. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just being sensitive about it. But again, like men never have to deal with this shit. They never have to say sorry for the shit that they say. Fuck, half these motherfuckers don't even say sorry for the unlawful shit that they do. So I did say, I always say, Jeff, come on, put yourself in my shoes. He was like, yeah, I get it. Totally over it, whatever. It was a soft, tender moment. But also, as my profile has gotten bigger, just more people find you, obviously. Dude, the shit that I read about myself on the internet, I was in Nashville talking to a friend in the industry the other day, and I told her, I was like, you got to not look. I know this special is going to come out. People are going to say horrible things about my physical appearance, maybe about my jokes, about whatever. And I am just, my asshole's clenched. I am on the defense. I'm like a cat in a cage at the back of the ASPCA, clenching to the side, just like, whatever you do, I'm gearing up to fight. And not that I even need to. But I always tell people, I'm like, don't give a fuck what anybody else says. Now, back to your husband. Why did I somehow make this about doubling down and spilling Jeff's insecurities, which now I'm going to get in fucking trouble for that. Anyways, show your husband some love and attention. Love on him. Okay? Love on him. Tickle the taint. Grab the balls. Use 2 hands. Do what you got to do. Sit on the face. Whatever he needs. Love on him. Now, I don't know what your love language is. Mine is time. The only thing I ever want to do is I want Jeff to sit with me in bed, on a couch, on a bench, in a garage, on a seesaw. I don't give a fuck what it is. I want both phones to be down and I just want to giggle. That is my love language. I want to go to a meal. I want to hang out with you. I want a rollerblade in the park. It does not matter what it is. That is my love language. So find out what your husband's love language is. And it may be sitting on dat face. It may be buying him 6 lottery tickets. It may be letting him watch Auburn football for an afternoon while you clean the house topless. Find out what it is and just let him have it. Listen, I say this all the time, like the spotlight, technically, because of my job, it's a forward-facing job. I'm in entertainment. I told Josh, I came in the studio today, I said, I don't want to fucking talk about myself. I don't want to see myself. I'm so fucking sick of myself right now. And for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be sick of me too. But it's a part of the fucking business. But I also am like, my name's always on the marquee or whatever, but I try and do a good job of making sure that Jeff knows I could never do this shit without him. He is my angel. He has been my rock since day one. He is the best part of my day. We giggle. He is always like, I got you, babe. I'm behind you. And I always have to remember sometimes, a strong king can also be sensitive. And I am, being in comedy, it kind of makes you, well, definitely not bulletproof. I don't mean it like that because I cry about every 3rd day of the month. But it makes you where I also don't really take things too seriously. I'm like, all right, whatever. Whatever. Fuck it. Whatever. Also, we're all going to die soon. I mean, I really think I saw some Nostradamus prediction the other day. We got about a year left. The Euphrates River is drying up, guys. We open the scripture. It's a wrap. Oh my God, I sound like a sociopath. People are going to be like, wow, she's really lost it on the bonus episode. But we don't have long. Don't sit and shit. If you're ever beefing with your spouse, sit down, squash it. It's not worth it. Life is short. You know, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I think the biggest thing is we just constantly need a reminder to let the people in our lives know that we appreciate them. We love them. You is kind, you is smart, and you is important. And if you don't know what that's a quote from, I don't think we can be friends. But shout out to the hubs who's listening to the podcast. You know what I mean? And I want you to know, buddy, you call into the voicemails, 800-213-7503. And if you didn't at least get a tickle on the prostate by Tuesday, report back. And I'll show up to the house and serve your wife papers because I got your back. You got mine, I got your back. But, you know, we're all doing the best we can. So remember, you never have your ego too big. Always say sorry. It ain't worth it. Love your buddy and love the people around you. Why am I actually trying to give sage advice? Let's get to another voicemail.
Hey, Heather. This is Skylar from UGA. Go Dogs.
Oh.
Anyways, absolutely not. To my roommate/friend going to eat at Carrabba's and my ex serving her family. And then she came home and told me that not only is he hot, but they tipped him well. His skin was clear. And they all held hands with him and prayed at the table for his academic success. Mind you, Heather, there is a reason I broke up with this man, and she knows. Now, Heather, I'm not against Bible thumpers, but they need a thump somewhere else and not all over my ex. Anyways, love and light. Bye.
Honey, Skylar from UGA, Go Dogs. Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, your roommate's a cunt, okay? Second of all, first of all, I'm dead. I love that. I think she said Carrabba's.
Yep.
Josh, you ever been to a Carrabba's?
I haven't actually, no.
Okay, well, it's an Italian place. Now, I wouldn't say it's as good as a Maggiano's or Macaroni Grill, but dude, they have an ensalada Carrabba. It's like a chopped salad that'll change your fucking life, okay? So Carrabba's is an Italian, specialty spot. He's slinging the Alfredos, the pennes, the rigatonis. It's a chain restaurant. So I love. God, everything about this voicemail just tickled me pink. First of all, I love that he waited on your roommate. And then I love that they all held hands and prayed for his academic success. You know what? I want to tell you this right now, Skylar, you're taking the high road. I want you to clock what the roommate did because she came home to, I would say, rub it in your face. She could have said, you know what? His apron was filthy. He looked sweaty. He looked tired. He looked hungover, disheveled. But instead, she wanted to do a little bit of a flex. And I would imagine she may have held his hand directly. So I just want you to clock that. I'm not saying don't be friends with her, but I want you to clock it. And remember, you broke up with this guy for a reason. But wow. She broke bread with him. The family prayed over his success. But you know what you should do? You know what the Bible says? Pray for your enemies. Pray for them hoes. Okay? When a bitch serves you a look, you say, I'm praying for you. Okay? Sometimes we're too quick with the tongue. Everybody thinks they need a hard clap back. But you know what? If somebody were to put their hand on me and say, I'm praying for you, it's like when I used to say, I'm embarrassed for Satan. That's worse than being, I'm disappointed. I'm going to pray for you. And you can say it in a condescending way that I know God would be upset about. But saying like, you know what? I'm going to pray for you. That hits harder than I don't like you, bitch. It hits harder. So I don't want to say that she knew what she was doing, but I'm just going to say sleep with one eye open tonight. I mean, listen, the guy's not thriving. He's a waiter at Carrabba's, and shout out to all of our service industry folks. So I'm not saying that is not a great job, but he's also, he probably leaves that place smelling like garlic bread and an Italian vinaigrette. He gets into his Corolla. He hits 2 mango vapes on the way home, and then he goes home and jerks off to your photos. So let's just remember, the more time you spend thinking about them, the more time you're not working on yourself. But he's still thinking about you. He's still thinking about you, Skylar. And while you're up there getting your fashion marketing degree or your consumer marketing degree or maybe a journalism degree or your pre-law, you're focused on yourself. And don't darken the doors of the Carrabba's. If you know that he's working there, don't say, oh, but I'm really craving, a Pomodoro. No, bitch, you stay away. You know where he is. Don't start lurking. And a lot of times we get back with our exes because we're bored. We miss the attention. It's always great to feel wanted. But then I want you, anybody who's listening to this, if you're in a situation where you're thinking about texting the ex, you've had a couple drinks, write down the pros and cons list. How did this person make you feel? How did they make you feel? If they made you feel like you couldn't trust them, you didn't know what they were doing, they didn't build you up. If it ain't a hell yes, it's a hell no. Okay? Wow, I'm giving good advice today. It's a hell no. And it's a go dogs. All right? Also, you're young. You're in college. There's going to be 65 other back waiters at a Carrabba's. They're going to try and get in your pants. So just know. And I think that if, we're at a highly scholastic institution. I mean, the University of Georgia is very hard to get into. I didn't stand a chance. So I want you to know there's options. Go find a guy that's pre-med. Go find somebody who's working their dick off. I might even find, you got a great vet school up there. Oh my God, find an older guy that's in grad school, that's in medical school, going to be a veterinarian. Now, a lot of vets are kind of oddballs. And I'm not saying I would have been a great vet. Well, no, I wouldn't have, because I could never put down the animals. But regardless, if you've ever met a vet, they're sometimes a little weird. They're a little bit like a horse whisperer. It gets a little odd. But either way, that's where I would follow. I would go up to that grad school. Girls, that's the other thing. And young gays, don't waste your time with the undergrads. Go to the grad school. Find somebody who's got a vision, who's got their head down, who's doing their shit. That's who you want to be with. And by the time, especially when it comes to sex, you want to be with somebody who's at least in their mid-20s and up, because they're going to know what's good. Let them get, do their little jackrabbit thing in undergrad. And if you're smart, girls, you'll go to the law school and find yourself a man who's really stressed out. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. That's what you want.
Heather, it's the girl Mary Locke, a double name, from Charleston, South Carolina. I actually originally grew up in Asheville, North Carolina, so I'm sure you can guess where this one is going. And absolutely not, but I do have an absolutely yes in here as well. Of course, a big, enormous, absolutely not to Hurricane Helene. Mm-hmm. It is terrible. I cannot believe what it has done to my hometown, all of these surrounding mountains of Western and North Carolina. Also slide absolute not to my favorite HOA president. She did not like it when I put a donation box on the clubhouse doorstep without her permission. However, with all of this tragedy, I would like to say that there are some absolutely yeses in this, of how truly amazing people are banding together to donate supplies and bring them to Asheville and all of the surrounding mountains, but also the direct relief funds that have been set up for this. And I'd like to ask, because I know that you care about the mountains, the South, and all of the above. Plus, we have some friends in common that you went to school with at Ole Miss. Just an absolutely yes to local relief. I'd like to encourage anyone and everyone out there to look online, see how they can directly give to Asheville and the mountains to help in this time of crisis. Thank you for everything. Tiramisu, bitch.
Hey, great reminder. And actually, I'm posting today, and this should be up in my stories when this episode comes out tomorrow. I said on Wednesday's episode, I'm trying to vet everything because there's a lot of shit that I've gotten sent a lot of links, but I was like, I want to make sure that I'm getting directly to the source. So I called my buddies that were in Asheville. They've all come down to Atlanta and they've hit Charleston. My friends, Boho, Britt, and Amber in Augusta had to get out of town. People are still without water and power. And obviously, I want to let the professionals do what they do best. But I just said, they're gathering links. So I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff on my Instagram stories and ways that you can give back. Even $1 helps. I mean, people have literally lost everything. My buddy Obi, who's up in Asheville, I mean, he was sending me videos of it's just fucking insane. Where he lives, there is nothing left. And again, I said this Wednesday, but nobody thinks that a hurricane is going to hit mountains. No one thinks it's going to hit the middle of Augusta, Georgia. Obviously not that, Florida deserves anything, but, you see these intense weather storms happen in Florida or on a coastline, but to happen in the middle of the fucking mountains is insane. So I'm gathering all the information. Don't think that you haven't been heard. I know too, and I was talking to Bethany Frankel about this, but like her operation to Be Strong is so transparent and very clear. So I'm going to be linking for that. Like literally they buy gift cards and Visa gift cards, and they have like their boots on the ground. She is so incredibly transparent about where the money goes to. I mean, I get nervous. There's a lot of links that got sent to me, and I was like, hey, I just want to do my due diligence because I'm making donations and I want to make sure that, you know, the money is going to the people. Because honestly, I posted this on, oh my God, I just freaked the fuck out. I thought there was a spider on me. It was just a fuzz. Oh my God, I almost literally jumped out of my seat. I saw this, y'all, and this is, talk about an absolutely not. Hold on, I screenshot this. Where is this? So Naomi Campbell is in trouble right now. The article says, investigation finds that Naomi Campbell spent charity funds on spa treatments, cigarettes, and luxury hotel rooms. Apparently, she had started a charity or like models in need or like poor gals who wanted to be models. And then they raised all this fucking money and she was using it on fucking vacations. Like, I promise you right now, I am a very honest person. That is why I was getting sent a lot of links. I was like, let me just do my due diligence to make sure that we're not, do you think you're donating to like help rebuild someone's barn in Asheville, North Carolina? And it's actually going to Naomi Campbell's spa fund. All right. And again, some of these fucking wildly famous rich people, the brass balls that they have to think that they can get away with this shit is unfucking believable. I mean, what a dumb bitch. I said it here. Naomi, you're a dumb bitch. How dare you? You know, and I thought about starting my own charity for a while, but then I said, you know, I have the resources right now to be linked up with City of Refuge in Atlanta, where I have been boots on the ground. I've seen the great work that they've done. I love working with Angel Flight. Angel Flight is an incredible organization that my dad used to fly for, where they pilots take dry lease time in their airplanes, and they'll fly people all over the country to certain cancer treatments. Like, I just want you to know I'm always doing the work behind the scenes, but I want to make sure that before I start posting something, it's going to the right place. A lot of people sent me some TikTok videos and stuff, but I think a great place to start is Be Strong. She is literally like this. I mean, listen, Bethany Frankel, you got to hand it to her. When she gets her mind behind something, she fucking goes for it. And I've heard such great things about her organization. And then obviously, in the Asheville and Augusta area, and there's other parts even in Georgia that have been affected, where I'm going to figure it out. So look to my social media. I will be letting you guys know where to start. But if you want to like make a donation right this second, Be Strong is an incredible way to start. You can go to Bethany, BETHENNY.com. And she's fucking on it. So, but also I'll continue to add links. But when I saw that thing about Naomi Campbell, I was like, this is why I actually want to do the research behind it. Because I don't ever want you to say, well, Heather sent me to donate to this thing, and I thought it was going to the good people that need it, and it was going to Naomi Campbell's fucking trip to Zermatt, Switzerland. Okay? And I'll tell you, I do a lot of charity dinners at Storico Fresco and Yeppa. And it's the joy of my life to be able to give back and do it in a cool way. But there are days where I'm like, you know, I wouldn't mind the extra cash, but I'm an honest person, so I'm not doing it. All right. But listen, also call into the hotline, 800-213-7503. If you have absolutely nots from the storm, if you have weathered the storm and you're on the other side, we want to hear you and we want to help you if we can. So, you know, this is what's cool about this community. We can bitch on here, we can giggle, we can talk shit, and then we can also come together. And that's the biggest part of why I love what I do, because y'all are the fucking best. You support me, I want to support you. We're all in this together. It's called the human life experience. And not even to be cheesy, but we really, truly are just trying to figure this shit out. And also, I said on Wednesday's episode, get a fucking bug out bag. Just have some batteries, a flashlight, some water, some granola bars. You know, be smart. Take care of each other. But I'm not saying like, you know, as an Ellen sign off, be kind to one another. No, just listen, take care of your own shit and then help a neighbor when you can. All right. Anyways, I could ramble all day about the dumbest shit, but I love that we get to do these bonus episodes because it's really, truly just a, where you just peel back the layers of what's in my brain at this very second. And I love that I get a little extra time with y'all because it's the greatest joy of my life. Again, next week, we're going to be back at it, doing the damn thing. And I'm really excited to, I'll be back in Atlanta and then I'll be in New York on a press tour. So just hang tight. Lots of fun episodes coming up and you're going to be seeing a lot of me. So thank you for continuing to support. And I promise in a couple weeks, this will all be over and we can just get back to the usual bullshit. But in the meantime, between time, I love you. I mean it. And I'll see you on the next episode. Ciao, Bella. Arrivederci.